We have a problem, Batman. Gotham needs you again.
The Suicide Squad is Amanda Waller's plan to turn criminals into soldiers by putting bombs in their necks and promising shorter prison sentences. They are chaos pretending to be order, bad guys forced to play good guys through fear of having their heads blown off. Harley Quinn brings crazy violence hidden behind giggles and jokes. Deadshot has perfect aim but doesn't care if he lives or dies. Captain Boomerang is good at fighting but will sell out anyone to save himself. Killer Croc is super strong but has no moral limits. The Joker shows up sometimes and makes everything worse. Each member is dangerous in different ways, and Waller thinks she can point them at her enemies like weapons. But bomb collars don't make people loyal, they just make them angry. The real danger isn't what they can do individually, it's what happens when the bombs stop working and they remember they're predators, not pets. Amanda Waller is the real threat behind the squad. She's a government official who thinks the ends justify any means and that controlling monsters makes her their boss instead of their victim. She really believes America's enemies need responses that go beyond laws and morals, which makes her more dangerous than someone just looking for money or power. Waller has seen terrible threats and decided that becoming a monster herself is worth it to protect innocent people. You can't buy her, threaten her, or talk sense into her because she thinks she's saving the world. Her weakness is that she's completely sure her methods are right. When you show her proof that her way creates more problems than it fixes, that certainty starts to crack. The goal isn't destroying her, but showing her there are better ways to protect the country without giving up everything that makes it worth protecting. Harley Quinn is pure chaos in a clown costume. Her brain got broken by the Joker, and now that damage has been turned into a weapon that nobody can predict or control. She switches between loyal friend and deadly enemy without warning, making her useful and dangerous at the same time. She's actually really smart. She used to be a doctor who studied crazy people, but her madness hides that intelligence behind jokes and violence. Her biggest weakness is that she desperately wants someone to love her and treat her well. The way to handle Harley is to be genuinely nice to her without trying to manipulate or control her. Give her real friendship and stability, and she might choose to help instead of hurt. Don't try to fix her immediately. Just show her what real caring looks like. Deadshot is the perfect killer who doesn't want to live anymore. Floyd Lawton can shoot anyone from any distance with any weapon, but he treats every mission like he hopes it will be his last. He's using violence as slow suicide, hoping someone will finally be good enough to kill him while he maintains his professional pride in the work. His one weakness is his daughter. He still loves her and feels guilty about being a terrible father. The way to reach Deadshot is to give him reasons to want to stay alive, to show him purposes beyond just dying well. Help him build real relationships and find ways to protect people instead of just killing them. It might make him less effective as a killer, but it will make him more reliable as a person who actually wants to succeed instead of fail. Captain Boomerang is completely selfish and will betray anyone to save himself. Digger Harkness thinks everyone else is expendable except him, which makes him useful in a fight but impossible to trust when things get dangerous. He's good at lying and manipulating people, and he uses those skills on his teammates just as much as his enemies. His weakness is that his selfishness is predictable. He always chooses whatever keeps him alive, and the way to handle Boomerang is to make cooperation more profitable than betrayal. Set up situations where his best chance of survival depends on working with the team instead of selling them out. Don't expect him to become loyal, just make loyalty temporarily useful to him. Killer Croc is a man turning into a monster who's been treated like a monster for so long he's starting to act like one. Waylon Jones is super strong and tough, but his body keeps changing into something more reptile than human. His whole life has been people being afraid of him or rejecting him because of how he looks, which made him angry and violent. He's not evil by nature. He's just in pain and alone. His biggest weakness is that he wants to belong somewhere and be accepted by people who aren't afraid of him. The way to reach Croc is to treat him with respect instead of fear, to show him that someone can see past his appearance to the person underneath. Give him a community where he fits in, and he'll fight to protect it instead of destroy it. The Joker is the wild card who makes everything worse when he shows up. He might come after Harley to get her back, or he might just want to prove that anyone can be driven crazy with enough pressure. When the Joker gets involved, any mission turns from a job into a nightmare, where squad members start turning on each other. You can't predict what he'll do because he doesn't follow any logical rules. He just wants to spread chaos and madness wherever he goes. The only strategy for the Joker is to get civilians away from him as fast as possible and extract the squad before he destroys them all. His presence makes the mission secondary to just limiting the damage he causes. You can't control him, predict him, or reason with him. You can only try to minimize the destruction he leaves behind. Rick Flag is Waller's field commander and the closest thing the squad has to a conscience. He's a real soldier, trying to keep a team of criminals focused on the mission instead of killing each other or innocent people. Flag's job is impossible. He has to maintain authority over people who don't respect rules, don't fear consequences, and don't care about mission success if it conflicts with their personal survival. His biggest weakness is that he genuinely believes he can control and reform his team, that military discipline can overcome criminal nature. The way to help Flag is to give him backup plans for when his authority fails, because it will fail. Support his impossible job while being realistic about what he's actually dealing with. The bomb collars are Waller's main control method, little explosives surgically implanted in their necks that blow up if they disobey orders or try to escape. The collars monitor where they are, their vital signs, and whether they're following mission rules. If someone tries to run away, betray the team, or hurt the wrong people, boom, no more head. This creates a situation where the criminals have to constantly fight their natural instincts to save their own lives. The collars are a weak control system because they only work on people who want to stay alive no matter what. Technical problems can disable them. Psychological pressure can make people stop caring about death. Or someone might just decide that dying free is better than living as a slave. People with nothing left to lose can't be controlled through death threats. What do you think, Alfred?
Master Bruce, the Suicide Squad represents everything wrong with trying to fight evil with evil and expecting good results. These people need help, not bombs in their necks. Most of them became monsters because people treated them like monsters long before they started acting like ones. Amanda Waller thinks she's protecting innocent people, but she's creating a system where the government does the same terrible things we're supposed to stop. The real tragedy is that some of these criminals might actually change for the better if someone showed them real kindness instead of just another way to control them. Sometimes the best plan is proving that doing the right thing works better than threats and fear.
Alfred's point makes me realize the squad's real problem isn't the individual criminals. It's a system that uses their damage instead of healing it. The plan needs to include pushing for real rehabilitation programs that fix the root causes of why people become supercriminals, not just ways to exploit their skills for government jobs. This means working with doctors and lawyers who can create better approaches to dealing with dangerous criminals, supporting laws that give people real second chances when they want to change, and proving through example that treating people with dignity works better than controlling them through fear. The goal is showing that justice can be effective without being cruel, that protecting society doesn't require abandoning the values that make society worth protecting. What do you think, Robin?
Bruce, some of these people are actually trying to be better. Harley's working on getting her life together, Deadshot loves his daughter, even Croc just wants to belong somewhere. The problem isn't that they're criminals, it's that nobody gives them real chances to be anything else. Waller treats them like weapons instead of people, so they act like weapons. But when someone actually trusts them and treats them with respect, most of them try to do the right thing. Sometimes the best way to get good behavior is to expect it. instead of threatening people. These guys have skills that could help a lot of people if someone pointed them in the right direction.
Robin's right that many squad members want to be better when given real opportunities instead of just more control. The plan needs to include ways to help willing criminals transition to legitimate jobs where their unique skills can actually help society. This means creating training programs that use their abilities for good purposes, finding mentors who can guide them without trying to control them, and building legal systems that offer real redemption for people who prove they've changed. Many criminals became criminals because they didn't have legitimate ways to use their talents. Give them real alternatives, and a lot of them will choose to help instead of hurt. The goal is proving that people can change when they're given genuine chances instead of just more punishment. Mission monitoring focuses on the fact that squad operations often involve questionable goals using methods that create more problems than they solve. Their missions usually put them in situations where they're expected to die, where success is measured by completing the job regardless of how many squad members survive. The plan involves watching squad deployments through intelligence networks, identifying operations that go beyond reasonable limits, and developing ways to intervene when missions threaten innocent people. This includes establishing ways to communicate with squad members during operations, providing escape routes for members who want to abandon illegal missions, and creating alternative ways to achieve legitimate goals without treating people like disposable weapons. Support systems require building real alternatives to the bomb collar system that can provide structure and purpose without relying on death threats to keep people in line. This means creating facilities designed for actual reform, instead of just holding cells staffed by professionals who know how to deal with supercriminal psychology and rehabilitation needs. The system must account for what each member actually needs. Harley needs psychiatric care, Deadshot needs meaningful purpose, Croc needs acceptance, Boomerang needs profitable cooperation. Success is measured by real behavioral change, not just temporary compliance, by community integration and positive contribution instead of just not committing crimes. The goal is proving that even the worst criminals can become productive members of society when given proper support and real opportunity. The final assessment shows that the Suicide Squad represents both the failure of traditional justice systems and the potential for redemption, when approached with wisdom instead of convenience. Their existence proves that society has failed to address the root causes that create supercriminals, choosing instead to exploit their damage for government purposes. The plans serve as both immediate response to current threats and long-term strategy for transforming a broken system into something that actually serves justice. True victory lies not in better control methods, but in creating conditions where such control becomes unnecessary, where people choose cooperation because they have genuine reasons to care about society's success. Because in the end, the greatest defeat of the Suicide Squad concept will be its transformation into something voluntary, where former criminals serve society not because they're forced to, but because they want to, where bomb collars are replaced by genuine purpose, and death threats give way to real hope for the future.